Hello everyone and welcome back to Retro Game Lounge. Jimbo and
Chuck
back again, and man do we have some cool shit to share with you guys today. Okay, so here's the deal. The Brainiacs and awesome people over at East Starland personally invited Chuck and myself over to compete in a special tournament at their monthly Gamers Exchange that happened last month. This one was actually, they were kind of going above and beyond on this one. Instead of just guys like me and Chuck competing against each other, they were having the certified gamers, the real deal right here, against the store employees, their hand-picked best players against us. So naturally, Chuck and I were like, fuck yeah, we're going to do this. You know, we're not backing down from that challenge. But to throw some little variety into the mix, they actually paired us up with a pair of other guys, and one of these gentlemen is standing right here. This is Tony. Tony, welcome and congratulations on being the very first guest ever on Retro Game Lounge.
Thank you, Jimbo. Thank you, Chuck.
No problem, man. Okay, so what did this consist of? Well, basically here's how it went down. They told us two of the games that we would be playing, that we knew we'd be playing Super Mario Kart, and they gave us the track list so we had a chance to practice, and we were going to be playing Super Smash Bros. Melee. I know I'm going to lose some game cred on this one, guys, but I had never played Super Smash Bros. Melee. Don't boo me too bad just yet. I did buy a copy of the game specifically so that Chuck and I could practice, and we did practice hard, let me tell you. Mario Kart, you know me, I played Mario Kart. And then there was going to be a third game that they would not tell either us or the store employees what it would be. So they had a wild card thrown in there that nobody could practice for, so we just kind of had to wing it. So, we brought our camera along to the Gamers Exchange to film all this, and just as an FYI, guys, there was actually a fourth guy who was competing with us, Tommy, who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight to film this video. Tommy, you're with us in spirit, and you will definitely be on a future episode of Retro Game Lounge. So, without further ado, guys, we're going to go ahead and show you the game footage, and we're going to kind of do a little recap here and just tell you how it turned out, so stay tuned.
This is his map, dude.
I got shafted.
That's alright. We get the two maps that we're not meant to.
Exactly.
God damn it.
Alright guys, who we got? Who we got? Let's go. Toad's on the bottom. Toad's struggling.
Alright guys, so first up in the tournament we had Tony taking on East Starland on Ghost Valley 1.
Tony, why don't you tell us what happened with that race?
So, like Chuck said, I was playing in Ghost Valley 1 Super Mario Kart. I chose Toad as my character. He also has a higher chance of getting mushrooms as opposed to any of the other items when you hit a item block. My second item that I got was a feather, which in Super Mario Kart lets you do a high jump. There's a shortcut in Ghost Valley where you can make a long jump so long as you have that feather item. I missed it the first time. I thought it would make me lose my lead, but fortunately, since I was Toad, I trounced him.
Oh, take him out, take him out, take him out. Yeah!
Yeah! Tony laid down a whooping on this dude. Sorry, man. Sorry, you Starland, but yeah, this was no contest.
Come on, there it is. Yeah!
All right.
Good job, man.
Okay, so in the second race, it was Chuck taking on Bowser's Castle 2. So, a little side note for you guys. When Chuck and I were practicing for this, we were actually not aware that Tony and Tommy were going to be competing in the tournament, because East Starland didn't tell us that. Yeah, nice guys, Raphael. So we were practicing like it was just going to be us, and we knew the 4 tracks, so we played the crap out of those 4 tracks, and we kind of decided amongst ourselves who was the best at each track. And when it came to Bowser's Castle 2, Chuck kind of jumped on the grenade at that because neither of us were overly good at it, but Chuck just sucked less at it. So we kind of, he's like, all right, I'll take that one. So Chuck, when you had to take this one on, what was your thoughts going into this, man? Like when you found out that that was your track that you had to do, what happened?
We might be fucked. I mean, that's pretty much what I was thinking. Because I'm decent, but, you know, with the pressure and all that, you know, a lot of people watch, and sometimes I tend to fall apart.
And it was your first tournament.
And it was my first tournament. So, you know, I didn't really know what to expect. If you're not familiar with Bowser's Castle, it's nothing but lava, pitfalls, right-hand corners, stupid shortcuts that you can't actually take.
Yes.
Even with the feather, you can't fucking do it. I don't know why they programmed it. It's just to deck you.
What were your trials and tribulations taking on this race? What were the hardest parts to you?
The hardest parts were those damn swamps. I can't stand them. I can't stand them. Like, that is the bane of my existence. And then, if you do happen to make it through the swamps, you have those little black dark crystal fizz gigs that go across your shit. Fuck them.
Yeah.
fuck them. They always hit me. So I don't know how I won. I did. I beat him.
Fair and square.
No, I know how I won. I just fucked you up.
Yeah. No, he did.
I just fucked you up.
No BS, guys. You're watching in the footage right now. It wasn't even close. Like Chuck beat this dude fair and square. So it's yeah. I was just so proud of him. I really was.
I was proud of me too.
He was all grown up.
I almost had a heart attack.
It was so amazing. It really was. Okay, so next up we had Tommy, who again couldn't be here today, competing for our team on Mario Circuit 4 of the Star Cup. As fate may have it, guys, that's actually my best track. I was actually hoping that I was going to get that one because when Chuck and I were practicing, that was the one that I would always excel at. Like, whenever I would win on that against Chuck, I would always win, like, big. Like, I don't know what it was, but I would just get in the zone on that one and I would just excel. So Tommy took that one on. If I remember right, Mario Kart wasn't exactly Tommy's game. He said, he's played it before, but he didn't have like a lot of, an excess of confidence like going into this. He's just going to kind of give it his best try. But I'm in love with you guys, man. Again, this wasn't even close, man. Tommy just laid down the whooping like nobody's business. He didn't really have, I don't think he had really any major mistakes in that race where he spun out really hard or anything like that, and he just kind of hit the ground running and beat the dude fair and square. So Tommy, excellent job, bro.
So finally, we come to Rainbow Road, which is a track I wanted nothing to do with. We practiced that one nonstop, and if you're not familiar with it, it's nothing but pitfalls, no edges, and thwomps.
Pretty much.
That was all him.
Yeah, so I stepped up and I kind of got thrown with this one, but I was originally going to do this track anyway. It wasn't the track I was looking forward to, but took the hit on it anyway. Alright, so this is the final race. The three guys in front of me have all won. This is the first track I've ever played.
No pressure.
No pressure, right? So I'm like, alright, well, we're going to win anyways, but are we going to win or are we going to win big? Like, just win or like shutout. And I'm like, dude, I want a shutout. I want to make a point here. Okay, so cruising down the track on Rainbow Road, I get a pretty... The guy I was playing against got a little bit of a lead right at the beginning. I think through the majority of the first lap, he had the gain on me, and he eventually screwed up, and I was able to catch him with a mushroom. So, like Chuck had mentioned, every turn in this, you can fall off. So your accuracy on this map has to be a lot higher than it is on pretty much any other map. You have virtually no margin for error at all. And I remember there was this one particular turn where I went around that I swear to God, my butthole pucker was like a 9. I was kind of gliding around this. It was a sharp right turn, and it almost looked like one of my 4 wheels was in the air, and the other 3 kept me on. And I could hear everyone behind me, including Chuck, being like, "Oh my God!" when I made the turn, just squeaked by.
I think it was second to the last turn.
Yeah, I mean, this was really close. Like, I really thought I was going to fall.
That might have resulted in a cheer, honestly.
I think it did. I think it did.
Needless to say, I was the better part of a lap ahead of this guy by the time I finished. I mean, every single race that we competed in this one, guys, we won this hands down. We're really not glad hanging ourselves, not patting ourselves on the back. We were honestly shocked that we gave him this big of an ass kicking in this game. I mean, I'm not saying they kicked the other guys down. I mean, the East Island guys, they were cool dudes.
No, they're all amazing.
It was all in good fun. It was all good. Just gamers hanging out with each other. But I mean, guys, we smoked you. Okay, so coming off of the Super Mario Kart ass whooping that we handed Starland, sorry, but we did. We're all high, man. I mean, we're all just like, yes, we won. We're off to a great start, man. First game, clean sweep, man. We brought the freaking pain. So, second game, Super Smash Bros. Melee. As I mentioned earlier, guys, I had never played this game until 2 weeks before this tournament, where Chuck and I were practicing our asses off, and Chuck showed me a few things. But fortunately, on our team, we had the fucking ringer in this game.
Yeah.
We had Tony, who is a Super Smash Bros. Artiste.
I've been playing for 13 years now.
Yes.
Melee, that is. I've been playing 64 for even longer.
Yes.
It shows.
We were very relieved to see that Tony was playing on our team, and we asked him when we got there, if he's any good at it, and he basically said in straight face, "It's my game." So we were like, "Oh, thank God." So basically,
in a Link hat.
In a Link hat, yes. In his Link
I'm
hat.
sorry, I'm not wearing it today. I usually would be.
Yeah, dude was dressed as Link.
So we knew he was here to play.
Yes. We knew this dude meant business. All right. So basically how this worked was the game was set up so it was 2-on-2, so 2 of us against 2 store employees in a 3-minute unlimited lives free-for-all. All items on I think we did random stages.
stage.
So I mean Chuck and I practiced pretty much all the stages. We're better at some than others, but we had a kind of a working knowledge of each one. So they paired us up differently, and the first up was me and Tony together playing on a team. So the only person I'd ever played this game with before was Chuck.
Yeah, that threw me off a bit.
It
too.
did. I had no reference point because Chuck and I had practiced as a team when we played this, and we played together very well as a team. So going into this with Tony, I know Tony. We've met each other at previous Gamers Exchange events. We've actually played against each other in tournaments. And so we never played as a team before, so we were kind of scrambling to get this thing going. But luckily, Tony took the lead here, and I just kind of like got caught in his wake and was like, "Yeah!" So Tony, what were your thoughts going into this match?
My thoughts going into it were basically the very first thing I was going to do is see what characters people choose. Because based on the tier list for Smash, I can tell right away how good someone is based on what characters they choose. Someone chose Sheik or Zelda right away. I knew that meant they were decent at Smash. However, my main is also Sheik, and this may sound pompous, but I put them down.
Big time. He really did.
He did.
They had negative lives by the time I had positive lives at the end of the match.
He really did.
I wasn't too worried about it at first, and also Jimbo here chose Falcon.
Yes.
Falcon
that's
is
my
a
guy.
great character to play. He's very fast, he's very quick, he's got a good recovery. He's even got a glitch to give him an extra high recovery if needed.
Yep.
Therefore, I wasn't worried at all when it came to the actual match, and also, you kind of undersold yourself with Smash. You were better than I thought you were by far.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, we were playing on, was it Zelda's Castle?
No, it was Peach's Castle.
Peach's Castle, excuse me. Okay. So we're playing on Peach's Castle where you're jumping across the rooftops. It's a pretty high stake one because you've got drops on both sides. You know, it's not as claustrophobic as some of the other maps.
And a giant bomb.
Yes, and
Yeah,
a giant
bullet bill.
that comes
Bullet
down.
bill,
Bullet bill
yeah.
thing that comes down. The upside is, if you know where to get them, there's a lot of really good item drops in this one. So baseball bats, etc. If you know where to stick yourself in this is a very, very tactical map where if you line things up right, you can get an advantage and flip the script on people really fast. That's one of the few things I did learn in 2 weekends of playing this game. But again, I noticed right away that Tony basically just hit the ground running, and I was pretty much there as backup. So, you know, I did my best to not hamper the team too much and just help Tony out. But I mean, in the end, dude, we schooled these dudes.
I mean, he did a great job helping me out. All I needed to do was a quick semi-spike, and he takes care of the rest.
Yeah,
There you go.
I mean,
A couple tilt combos, maybe a C-stick down smash, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, we really did well. It's from that going forward. That match kind of set the pace for the Super Smash Bros. Melee section of this competition. I mean, we were just coming off of Mario Kart, you know, high off our wins, and then again, you know, completely different game. We took them to school. So I mean, it's like we're like, dude, because Chuck and I were so nervous when we were going into this thing. We're like, you know what, we may not win. Like they're going to put their best guys against us. We know that these guys are going to play to win. So our main goal going in there, not to sell ourselves short, was like, you know what, if they're going to beat us, they're going to have to kill us to beat us.
Pretty much.
Like we're going to make it so fucking hard for them to beat us that they're going to have to bring their A game just to keep up. But fortunately, you know, by this point, we're like, dude, we are on the roll of rolls. Like we are,
Oh, yeah.
we are representing for Retro Game Lounge so much more than I ever thought we would. Okay, so round two. Round two saw Chuck and Tommy teaming up together to take on the East Star Lane employees. Again, Chuck had never met Tommy before. Tony and I knew Tommy from previous Gamers Exchange events. Really nice guy. I've competed against him. Things really cool dude. But Chuck had never met him before, and he'd never played with anybody besides me. So Chuck went up as
Marth.
and Tommy chose Link. So, Chuck, tell us what happened in this match.
Well, actually, the Starlane guys put on a great showing. Like, I thought I was holding my own, but I made a couple mistakes. I fell off once. I think I got killed by a bomb. So, I didn't actually die, but I zeroed out my lives. So, I guess kind of broke even. Didn't really help anything, but didn't hurt. So, we ended up losing that one.
To be honest, guys, it was really close. They
It was.
basically won by 2 points. And Chuck actually performed very, very well because his kills and his deaths zeroed each other out. So he came out with a 0, so he broke even. And Tommy was only at a -1. It's just they had a little bit more in their plus column than our team did. So that was definitely the closest of all the matches as far as I'm concerned. I honestly thought going into it, right down to the end, that Chuck and Tommy were going to win Okay, so third up, and guys, this was a best out of 5 tournament, was me and Chuck. And man, was I pumped up for this one, man. The guy that I practiced with, I had more confidence going into this one, man. We were on a roll. I was like, dude, we're going to bring it on this one. So then we get taken down a notch when we figure out what stage we're playing. We're playing Mushroom Kingdom 2, which is an unlockable stage, which we hadn't unlocked. We practiced every single other stage in the game except that one. So we kind of went into this one blind. This one's kind of a pain in the ass. There's 2 really huge pitfalls right in the center of the level. So if you kind of charge too hard from left to right or right to left or whatever, you can end up right in a pit, you know, in a moment's notice. It's a royal pain in the ass.
It's a horrible level.
It really is.
It's
so
horrible.
Captain Falcon is my guy. That's, you know, that's just my dude, man. He's all about like fucking speed and power and like really fast uppercuts and shit like that. It just kind of suits my playstyle. Chuck loves Marth. He loves anybody with a sword, basically. So,
And Ganondorf.
And Ganondorf. So when we practice, we mainly practice as those 2 characters. We started to work together really well as a team. So going into this one, man, I don't know about you, but I was really confident.
Well, I was confident.
I felt good.
Well, coming off of a loss, you know, I was confident, but I was confident because you were next to me.
Well, thank you, man.
That's
Thank
why.
you.
Yes.
He's so nice.
I was nervous, but I was confident.
He was, but you know, I mean, this was our first official play as Retro Game Lounge.
Yes.
You know, with both of us together. So I mean,
Yes.
I was like, you know, I don't care if we fucking lose. Like we're representing our shit right here.
Oh, and we did not lose.
No, we did not lose.
They did not
No.
lose.
Okay, so we're playing Mushroom Kingdom 2, right? And the really cool part about this stage that I figured out really quick is instead of knocking people off, if you just kind of push them far enough into the background on either side of the stage, it's basically the same thing as a knockout. So since you're not going towards the pitfalls, and since I'm using Captain Falcon with the Falcon Punch, I'm really using that to my advantage, just kind of bulldozering them to the side. And Chuck's flying all over the place doing kung fu shit and all that other crap, and I'm just like, you know, Falcon Punch! Just knocking people around and crap. I'm just like, you know, hey, it's working, so I don't care if it's cheap. So I remember one particular point during the game where we were about halfway through the game, somewhere around there, where a bomb appeared. And I was literally almost on the other side of the stage. And for any of you who played this game before, you got to get to the bomb fast. Otherwise, it kind of deploys itself, and then anyone who hits it, it's like a landmine. So Chuck, without really having to say anything, like kind of eschewed me over there, and I'm like, he's caught up in his shit. So I'm like, all right, I'm free. So I'm like trucking, and in my eyes, it looks like this, like slow-mo action movie style. I'm like, I gotta get there. If I don't get there fast enough, I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna blow up. So I grabbed it and almost in one motion chucked it to the other side of the map and sent them both flying off the stage. That was my favorite kill in the entire tournament. I know that's very selfish and vain of me, but that was like one fell swoop, boom, wiped out the other team. Needless to say, 9 KOs between the 2 of us at the end. Beat their asses on that one. That was like, dude, I felt like RGL was vindicated after that. I was like, dude, no. If anyone thinks we ain't the real deal, look at the scoreboard. We're doing just fine. All right. You know, we all that practicing that we did really paid off.
We might have to do a bonus video with full footage of that one.
We might have to. So yeah, that one was awesome. I let out a huge freaking like victory roar at the end, which I'm sure made me look stupid to the hundreds of people standing behind us, but dude, I didn't care.
I think we got it. I think we got it.
You got it. So playing for us, we got Tony and Tommy playing together.
Dream team.
Dream team right there. Tony, of course, is playing Sheik. That's his character. And Tommy changed it up a little bit, which I thought was really cool. He kind of did a curveball, and he played as Pikachu. And they're playing on what I feel, at least for me, was one of the harder levels, where you're flying on something in the middle of the air. It's moving, and there's pitfalls on both sides. Good drops on this one, though. You know, the hammer and a lot of the big drops actually drop on this one, but I'm going to turn it over to Tony. Tony, why don't you tell us what happened?
So we played on Corneria. People who are fans of Smash will know that stage. It's the Fox flying ship. And basically I chose Sheik, Pikachu. It wasn't that hard of a match, to be honest. Which I know makes me sound a little pompous.
Love it.
But there was a point at which someone picked up a hammer. I don't typically use items, but the hammer, I was pretty confident I could take him out even though he was wielding it. Unfortunately, it resulted in my death.
Yeah. You could kind of hear the crowd groan when they grabbed the hammer. I was like, I know I heard Chuck say like, oh no, and I'm like, oh shit. Because that thing, you're a freaking wrecking ball, dude.
It's true.
You want to stay out of that person's way when they get a hammer. So yeah, sent both of our teammates flying off the goddamn map, and Chuck and I are like, oh crap. So tell us what happened after that.
Well, luckily enough after that, I got them down into the little pit area, where if you notice there's a curve and then you can sort of hit people against the wall repeatedly. They tried to knock me off the edge over and over, and didn't think they would be able to get me to recover, but luckily Sheik has a lot of invincibility frames when you recover from off the edge, so they couldn't get me that way. But then I also got a Star Wand, which let me go for short range as well as long range attacks. And that basically sealed the deal for the match.
That was. When that happened, I looked over at Chuck and we were like, dude, we got this. I was like, it's over. 2 out of the 3 games we had won in this tournament. But, like I said, there was the wild card coming up that none of us knew what the game was. So that nobody could prepare for it. So then they tell us what the game was. They told us it would be on a more modern console. So I was like, all right, maybe it'll be on a Wii or something. But here's what it is. We were playing Nintendo Land on the Wii U. Little miniature backstory for you guys. Guys, I have a 6-year-old and 8-year-old nephew, and they have a Wii U, and they play Nintendo Land all the time. I've seen them play it. I was semi-familiar with the games, but I have never actually played it. So the 2 games we were playing was Luigi's Mansion, where basically it was the 4 of us playing as a team, so me, Chuck, Tony, and Tommy, against the Starlane employee who had the gamepad. Now, for those of you guys who are unfamiliar with this, basically here's how it works. So you got 4 people with Wiimotes against the guy with the gamepad. The guy with the gamepad is the ghost. The ghost can see himself, and he can see the other 4 players. We can only see each other. We can't see him. So it's kind of like hide and seek. You're kind of running around this big, kind of open top map, kind of like Bomberman. And you're running around with a flashlight trying to basically like proton pack the ghost. And you got to kind of box him in and stuff, but your flashlight has limited power. You got to get batteries to recharge it. And again, the whole time, the ghost is just messing with you because he can see you and skedaddle around the map all he wants.
And it vibrates whenever he's close.
Yes. So
I believe he also pops up every once in a while.
Yeah, it flashes every now and then.
Yes, you do get like a little kind of a glimmer that'll cue you in to his location. But like Chuck said, the Wiimote kind of vibrates when you get close. We're going through this one again. Nobody's ever played it, and we're just like, all right, kids play this. We can do this. So we're kind of spreading out on the map, trying to figure out where he is, and I think in the first minute or so, one of us, it was either me and you or me and Tony, figured out where he was, and we caught him in the flashlight and knocked out a bunch of his health.
I know it wasn't me.
Alright, then it must have been me and you. Yeah. So we caught him and we knocked down a bunch of his health, and he skedaddled away. So from there on out, we're trying, we're calling each other out, trying to coordinate this crap, like, it's over here, blue, blue, green, green. So fast forward to the end, we're down to like the last 30 seconds.
I was going to say, it was
This came down to the wire. We're like, dude, we got to get it. We finally got him. He's in the middle of the map. And Chuck caught him initially, and then we boxed him in. So that's like, he had nowhere to go at the end. We boxed him in.
And this man just hosed him down.
Yeah, I mean, that was just like, yeah, it was close. I didn't think we were going to get it, but
I didn't think we were.
We got him
Honestly,
in the
you
end.
finished him off, like, I think there were only probably like 5 or 6 seconds left.
If
Yeah.
that, yeah.
If that.
This was really close. But again, hey, we took it. Okay, so next, going forward with Nintendo Land, which is basically just a bunch of mini games, as an FYI. We were playing a game where you're basically chasing Mario. So how this works is the guy with the gamepad, again, a different East Starling employee, is Mario, and the people with the Wiimotes basically have to chase him. So Mario typically runs faster than the people with the Wiimotes, so he gets kind of a little bit of a head start, and we're kind of scrambling to figure out where he is, because you're looking in this big kind of 3D labyrinthy map.
Color-coded.
Color-coded, yes. So you can actually, we were calling it out to each other, like, he's in red, he's up high, he's up low, etc. So it took us the better part of a minute to kind of get our druthers, like, he's just skedaddling over the map. We're like running around like goddamn, where the hell is he, And we eventually figured out, and I think it was
I was chasing him for a while.
Yeah, like Chuck called him out, like, he's in red, he's red. So we're all changing direction, we're trying to box him in.
Could not catch him.
No, could not catch him. He's fast, that slippery little shit, Mario. So, anyways, so we're getting towards the end of the match, and finally, I was actually, I'm not going to take credit for this one, guys. I was almost on the other side of the map at this point. But Tony, Tommy, and Chuck finally figured out where he was, and they basically rained down the blitzkrieg on Mario's ass.
Honestly, it was all Chuck and Tommy because they led him to me.
Yeah, he had the best ambush ever.
I was just kind of hiding behind a corner, and then all of a sudden I jump out and grab Mario, and then we did it.
Oh, he tackled the shit out of Mario. You don't even know. Like Mario was like, you could catch me, and he just got fucked up.
And that was that. That was that, guys. That was the end of the tournament.
You forget.
That's right.
What did we do?
There was a tiebreaker. Okay, so that was the end of the official Gamers Exchange tournament.
We're done with you.
Yes. As far as East Starland versus the Certified Gamers, that was the end of it. Certified Gamers won it fair and square, 9 matches to 1. Virtually a clean sweep. It was awesome. So, the MC there, Raphael, told us that there was actually going to be a grand prize for the highest scorer among the Certified Gamers. And as it turns out, Tony and I were actually tied for the most number of wins. So basically, they were doing a kind of last-minute lightning round, winner-take-all, one-race match in Mario Kart. Whereas me and Tony going head-to-head, whoever wins gets the prize. So
Mario Circuit?
Yes, Mario Circuit 4. I'm going to level with you guys. I kind of subtly suggested that one to Tony here, so I do feel a little bit bad. Because that's the race that I'm the best at, as far as Mario Kart. So I practiced my ass off on that. So we're going through the map, and I'll be honest with you guys. I was more nervous about this particular round, than I was about any of the other rounds we were actually playing against the gamers.
That goes double for me.
So, because Tony's a good gamer, I've seen him play games. This dude can adapt like nobody's business. So I'm just like, oh man, like I can't come this far and like freaking fall short. Like, you know, Chuck's counting on me. Our viewers out there, I hope you guys are counting on us.
I was judging the whole time. I was totally fucking judging.
So I'm like, man, I got to take this. So Tony, to his credit, man, dude raced his ass off. He really did. It's just
I tried.
He did. He gave it a solid effort. But in the end, this was my race, guys. I mean, it was. This was my map. This was my house.
He trounced me.
Just in the sake of fairness, there's been Smash Brothers. It might have gone the other way. It would have been. I'm just saying.
Oh, if it's Smash Brothers, he would have won.
No, I didn't say that. I just said it might have gone.
Okay, so here's the kicker with this tournament, guys. There was actually the biggest turnout for this Gamers Exchange of all the ones I've ever seen. I don't know about you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
By the time the tournament was wrapping up, it was standing room only. I mean, like, I turned around and there was literally like a couple hundred people in there. I was like, oh my god, dude, we actually got an audience for this.
Oh, yeah.
No pressure, right? So the terms of the tournament were basically every time that the Certified Gamers, our team, won a round, they would draw 2 raffle tickets. So 2 people in the crowd would get a prize, which was either a gift certificate or something like that. And every time the store employees won, they would only draw 1 raffle ticket. So needless to say, the crowd was kind of on our side for this one because, you know, the more we won, the more they won. So that was really cool of East Starland to do that, and I'm sure they were pretty pissed that we kind of took them to school on that one and made them have to pay out on that. I'm sure they weren't counting on that. Sorry. Okay, guys.
Oh, I know what you're doing.
He is completely unaware of this, but guys, I'm going to go ahead and present this to my awesome teammate Tony for playing on our team. And since I kind of felt bad that I had the advantage in the end on Mario Kart, I did not want him to go home without a prize. So Tony, I know you are a Sega fan, Sega Saturn collector. This is for you, my friend. A brand new in the box Sega Saturn Virtual Stick.
Well, you're gonna have to give me a hug.
Hell yeah!
All right, oh my god. I'm glad you liked it.
Thank you, Jimbo.
You're welcome. Well, guys, I had an awesome time at this Gamers Exchange. I hope you guys did too. It was really cool playing with you, Tony. Tommy, it was really awesome playing with you too, man. I was so sorry you couldn't make it for this one.
Yeah, Tommy, it sucks you couldn't be here.
It does, man. But, you know, you are welcome back on Retro Game Lounge anytime you want, man. You played your ass off at the tournament. You definitely earned your spot, man. Come on over, hang out with me and Chuck and Tony and play some games. So, everyone, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and checking out this wrap-up of the Gamers Exchange. Guys, East Starland is not just a brick and mortar store. They actually have a website. All the inventory that's in the store, they sell on the website. They ship all over the country. They have really great prices.
Not over the country, worldwide.
Oh, worldwide. Oh, excuse me. East Starland, shipping worldwide. Their prices are basically adjusted for the market value, so you will always get, at the very least, a fair deal. They have really great sales. You know, sometimes 2 for 1. That even applies to consoles sometimes. So keep an eye on the site, eaststarland.com. East Starland, we want to thank you guys so much for holding this Gamers Exchange. We have a lot of fun. They hold it every month. They're always doing cool stuff, man. These guys are real gamers. The store employees are real gamers. The guy who owned the place, they are real gamers, man. They're just, these people speak our language. It's such a great place to hang out. Well, thank you everyone so much for stopping by. Tony, thank you again for being
Jimbo,
a guest.
thanks for having me.
No problem,
Chuck,
man.
thanks for having me, man.
Anytime. Well, as always, guys, as we always say at the end of Retro Game Lounge, we're certainly not running out of games
Or time to play them.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. Game on, and we'll see you next time.